4 copies for $19.95. Buy one, get one free. Support us. Infowars.com. Alan Watt, closing this out. They're moving towards, some African countries have lost over 40% of their population with engineered AIDS. The globalists are talking about, they even said last week in the British papers, it's time to stop mincing words. We need to start getting rid of everybody. I mean, they're now coming out. They're getting really ready for the hot kill weapons. And so for the people out there that are laughing right now, you know, when they release these, if we're unable to stop them, I want you, at least while you're dying, to know who killed you. The news will be telling you Al-Qaeda did it. But how long until you think they really start the mass plagues because they've just been testing the soft kills up until now. They really want to devastate and kill a lot of people.
Well, they do, and that was all part of the fake swine flu and other flu. The avian flu before that too, remember, too, that fizzled off into nowhere. It's getting as used to the idea that it's definitely coming. And that's what even the professors will tell their students in university. The plague is just around the corner. And so they will release it when it's the right time, when people are dumbed down enough to simply die off quietly and say, oh, well, what could they do? They tried their best. And most folk actually, unfortunately, will go that way. But it's coming. There's no doubt about it. It's coming. And remember, too, I've gone into bacterial and viral warfare in a big way over the years. And in all the writings that they've disclosed to the public on these topics from the governments themselves, they admit that for every plague that they create in the laboratory, and they've got thousands of them since World War II, they had lots during World War II, in fact, they created in the lab. They always must have, by international law, the antidote for them as well at every stage of mutation of virus or bacterium. So they have them, and the bigwigs themselves, of course, will get a real inoculation that will prevent them from catching it. And that's one of the incentives to get on board for those who are climbing the ladder, of course, is to get up there and to make sure that you and your family, that's promised that your family will also be preserved and looked after. But it's all in the name of bringing down the population, because you see, the useless eaters are now unsustainable. We are using the resources they claim that will feed their families, the right kind of people's families who should survive, to feed them for thousands of years. So they must get rid of us now. That's what they're openly saying, and you're quite right. They are openly saying it now. They aren't hiding anything. Yeah.
Well, first they're going to collapse the population, give people inoculations for flu that have the viruses that will destroy the resistance centers. So what? I mean, if we don't back them off, I mean, they're already slaughtering people in mass in Latin America and Africa. They've been admittedly caught over and over again. What's the time frame, Alan, when they'll really start releasing megadeath on people?
I'm sure, like everything else that they do, I'm sure 9/11 was planned probably 40 years before they hit it. That's how they do things. A long-term business plan, long war strategy.
It was 40 years, about 30 years before, yeah.
Yeah, and so they'll have a definite timetable. They'll know exactly when the public's ready to accept it by how dumb we are and the polls they constantly take. And then they will release it. But again, I've already got reports on the last flu injections and how many people have taken down with that alone, with chronic fatigue syndromes and so on.
I've gotten hundreds of emails and also see it in the news. They inject the baby goes into a coma, dies.
Yeah.
And it's like, that was wonderful. We murdered another child. We're the loving government. Alan Watt, great job. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Alex.